Boom. Boom. We're live, everybody. Hey, how are you? How are you doing today? It's Red TV Live in Conversation. That's what it is. I'm Peter, and this is the conversation. How you doing? Good to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I know you're out there. I feel you. I feel the energy. I feel the energy today. I'm feeling pumped today. Look over there. Look at that good-looking fella. I need a photo like that. If I could grow that, mine turns all kinds of weird colors. I don't know about you guys, but if I could grow one like that, look as smart as that. Come on, get out of here. It's all good. Thank you for joining me. I so appreciate you being here. We're broadcasting anywhere you get zeros and ones on your router, on the internet. That's where we are. LinkedIn Live, YouTube, all kinds of different platforms, mostly on LinkedIn because I enjoy the business conversation. I like taking these conversations in the business direction. And that's what we're going to do today. So thank you so much for being here. And hey, all kinds of different shows that we have all the time. We have great people that come on this show. So if you like it, hey, share it with somebody, would you? I appreciate that. That's the only sell I got for you today. Just share it with some people that you might know and say, hey, that guy, Peter, hey, he might learn something and from his guests. You'll learn something from the guests. Let's jump right into the show. Look at this. Look at this guy over here. Love this guy. I've known him for a long time in the sense of from a distance, but only just interacted with him recently. And I don't even know why that has been, but it is. He's a busy guy and he has thousands of people that always show up at his events, which means that, he's just, passing by. Hey, how you doing? Nothing, but he's good at connecting with people. That's one thing I appreciate about Ryan. And today we're going to go on a little journey today. Ryan is known for his business. So let's just dig into that real quick here, and I'll bring up a lot of information for you to dig in. So I don't want for Ryan to be spending his time today telling you all about what you can learn on his website. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a bit. But he's the CEO and owner of WJ Agency, and very well known, very well established and marketing communications agency. Okay, so very strong reputation when it comes to strategy, storytelling, creative production, brand development, these kinds of things. But today we're going to kind of go along the edges of that a little bit and go beyond marketing and just business success and explore what it means to be seen, heard, and valued today. Okay, I think this is something that people struggle with a little bit when you put yourself out there, the visibility part of things. And, he just recently launched his own website, a personal website outside of his own agency. So that kind of tells me he's leading his way into, he's doing speaking. Of course, he's an established speaker, always seen on local television here in Western Canada. So he's known again, just in media in general, but he's going to step out now. And I think he's branding himself and leadership, thought leadership, entrepreneurship, and the human side of business. So if that doesn't get your juices running, I don't know what I can do for you. I can't help you with that. Will you please welcome everybody? Ryan Townsend, how are you, buddy?
How's it going, man?
I know I need a clap thing. I do have a clap thing, but that's a little tacky. It's just a little tacky. But how are you? Good to see you. Oh, well, you're very welcome for the intro. I mean, that's the very least. Again, you're very well established. So I want to make sure people, first of all, how are you doing today? Are you healthy and well? Everyone good?
I'm doing great today. Working from home. You're getting me live from my living room.
Fantastic. Yeah. And it's like storming outside here in Calgary. If any of you guys are in Southern Alberta right now, it's April and we are digging out. Can you imagine? But it's happening right this very second. So here we are. I'm going to put up a couple things for everybody, Ryan, so we get this thing going. This is how they can connect with your website right now, ryan.𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 There's how you can find him on LinkedIn. And we got to get that one more branded for you, buddy. We got to get rid of those letters at the end. Okay. Me and you, we'll do that.
Get her done.
We'll get her done later on. We'll do all that. So that's where you can find that one. And of course, the agency itself, here it is here, 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵.com. So people can learn a little bit more about William Joseph. We'll jump into that and I'll show people that. And, but I really wanted to take it in another direction today, my fine friend, because I know that, you are very well known, for your, marketing, branding, and that kind of knowledge. And at the same time, I think people struggle today, and when it comes to this idea of personal branding and putting themselves out there and having this confidence, this ability to be confident and to be visible with that. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm literally that person. I can hype anyone else up, but hype me up, it's just a very difficult thing. So let's just jump right into that. And I'll put up some other things as we go along here, because I want to be respectful for your time as well. And again, people can learn about you from the website and stuff. Let's just jump right in right now. So when people think about you as the CEO, which they do, of a WJ agency, they think of branding and marketing. I know I do. That's even most people do. That's what they think about. But I want to know who Ryan is. So if I was to say, who's the Ryan behind that brand? How would you describe that guy? Who is that guy?
Yeah, that guy's pretty hardworking, I would say, pretty disciplined, fun-loving, caring. I think it probably depends on who you talk to, honestly. But I think at the end of the day, I always try to do like the right thing. I try to I lead by my heart. Sometimes that gets me in trouble, but I truly believe in the power of like humanity, supporting one another, lifting each other up, and having a really good time doing it.
Wow. Yeah. No, I love that, because again, that sounds like you're doing a lot of work, which means you're doing a lot of you're self-aware and doing a lot of work on yourself when it comes to that, when you describe who you are and the kinds of things that you want to bring to the world and represent in the world. I hear you talk about your mom a bit. I met her actually at one of your roundups. I was trying to find a picture. I didn't find it. I don't know if you have one at like your desk there, but if you don't, but you talk about your mom and influences in your life and things like that. And I'm just wondering, what moments do you think in your life, if you can look back a little bit, with your mom or maybe just your family or close people around you, that most shaped, who have you become as a leader today? Can you think of?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think I was very, very fortunate. I grew up with great parents, and like both of my parents, but my mom in particular, like she always had the belief that I could do anything I wanted. And I'd say, Mom, I want to do this. And she'd be like, you could do that. We're here to support you. So I really was raised with this value system of I could do anything and be anything. And that was really amazing. And, and my parents always really supported me on each step of my journey. Like when I was in high school, I really had this vision of I was going to be a doctor. And so I started university with the idea of going into like pre-med, which I did. And I did a hard course correct. I ended up doing this chem class where we had to do this experiment on what gives fruits their smell. And it was esters. And my chem prof said to me, Ryan, like, in all the years of teaching, I've never seen anybody do a display this amazing. You should go into marketing. And I was like, well, what's marketing? I didn't even know what it was. And I thought, wait, like that came natural to me. And maybe I just wasn't aware of it. So maybe I should pursue this. And I looked into it and I was like, yeah, actually, I think marketing is what I'm geared for. And I course corrected. So I had to call home. I had to say to my parents, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a marketer. And I think they were like, are you sure? But they were like, if that's what you feel your passion is, then we support that decision. So, I've really always felt like I've had like the wind beneath my wings, and I've tried different things. And, I just feel always so fortunate that, it's your personal integrity, it's your work ethics that you give it your all. And if this works, it's amazing. If it doesn't, it just means like you're meant to go on to the next part in your life.
Yeah, see, that is fascinating right there. This concept that you heard something from somebody, and it was like, well, what? And they saw something in you, and you're like, what's that? And it's fascinating because I find that that's a common thread with a lot of people that are creative. A lot of people, it doesn't matter what kind of creativity we're talking about, whether it's music or acting or painting or something. And in this case, just coming up with creative ideas and approaches to things. Someone sees it and you goes, hey, did you know you're really good at, this? And you're like, I didn't know that. What I loved about that story, though, is that you've been always encouraged to do that. I wonder, and I feel for the people that, don't have that and don't have that kind of support from their family. I think that's just a great part of your story. One thing I noticed with people right now, you can tell when you walk into their presence, and I've been talking about presence a lot. And I know when you do your Ryan's Roundup, which you're doing one today, and I'll put up some information about that in a minute. When you walk in to see you, for example, right? There's no doubt you can feel this confidence and this presence. It's your event, and that's how you show up. I completely relate to that. Were you always kind of like that? Were you always kind of comfortable with being seen, like physically being seen, or is that something you kind of grew into and had to develop?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, I think my personality has always been very outgoing and bold. I am an extrovert by definition, but very introverted on weekends and evenings, where I'm like, you could leave me in this house for the whole weekend and I'm great. I need it to recharge. So when I'm on, I'm on. And when I need to recharge, I'm quiet. But I think the thing is I've just always learned to give it your all. Like in life is like a stage, and it's up to you to show up and be present. And when I show up into the boardroom at work, my staff want to see the CEO that's on, the one that's going to inspire and drive confidence and give them the strength to do big things. And when I go to the roundup, people want to see me on. They want to experience that version of Ryan. So, even on but the thing is when you're so on in certain environments, you have to still have balance in your life. And so I have to counteract those moments of time with like solitude and inner thinking and grounding. And on roundup days, so the first Thursday of every month, we have a roundup in Calgary. I will take the 2 to 3 hours before the roundup and just silence it down. I silence everything. I just ground myself so that I do have the mental energy to go and show up. And, I think that in itself is really a skill. And, I'm just very blessed that I'm speaking at events and attending events and just doing a lot of things. And people are always like, how do you always go to so many things? And how do you show up with such passion and presence? It's all about balance. There's equal amount of times of solitude and silence.
Wow, that's perfect. And I so relate to the idea of being a extroverted introvert, because I'm literally, I feel that. And I think people can relate to that when you feel that you have to be on, you can turn it on. And I really want to dig into the idea that I think there's a lot of people that can't or struggle with that, I should say. They struggle with the idea that they can't show up the way they feel they should show up or can show up at. Maybe privately they're very gregarious but when they get into a public setting, not so much. And I think you exemplify that because you're also helping others recognize that in their brand. You're helping them to be courageous with their brand, with their own personal brands, their company brands, and the messaging, and for your team. So I admire the fact that people have confidence on the outside. I wonder what they don't see that it takes on the inside. So for you, what is it that people don't see about you that they must understand for you to bring that like that? Because again, yes, yeah, let's stay home for the weekend. It's snowing out, but when you have to show up, you do. And some people struggle with that. What don't they see in you? I wonder that you have to muster to do that.
Sometimes I don't want to show up either. So let's be honest. We all have those moments of time where it's like, I don't want to do this and I feel uncomfortable. You know what I think the funny thing was, though, is I've just learned to put myself in really uncomfortable situations, and really your worst scenarios are probably never going to happen. Mm-hmm. This last fall, I saw an opportunity to go on a trade mission internationally to promote our company. And I raised my hand. I said, I've never done a trade mission, but I'm gonna raise my hand. And the next thing you know, I'm in Paris at the Canadian Embassy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so over my head. Why did I put up my hand? I don't know if I can do this. And it was way out of my comfort zone. But I thought, well, I'll never get to the next level if you don't put yourself out of your comfort zone. And so I showed up and I walked into the embassy, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just kind of a normal day at work. It was nothing out of the norm. I handled it. I aced it. I think I represented our company in Canada well. And I came home and I was like, wow, that made me nervous. Like that was nothing. But the thought of it was just so over the top for me that I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then once I did it, I was like, oh my God, that was nothing. So, I think sometimes we conjure these ideas up of what something's going to be. And then when we actually do it, we're like, oh my God, that was nothing like what we thought. So yeah, I think sometimes we limit our own mindset based on expectations. And then once you do it, you're like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I so relate to that. And I hope people are hearing that idea. What the first part of this story is what struck me is that you heard about this idea or this opportunity, but you still had to make that decision. You still had to say, hey, you had to put your hand up. And I think that's where that moment happens that, I always talk about it as being those quiet moments. I know when I'm in if you're in the mirror in the morning and you're shaving, you're looking at yourself and you're like, wow, what am I doing? Not like, what am I doing? But what am I doing? like, what am I really doing? So I'm wondering for you to the decision, obviously now, I mean, you're doing things like that. You're not done things like that. You're doing things like that. You're also, again, creating your own personal brand outside of your agency as well. I wonder what did it take? Where did that come from? The decision to no longer play small, or do you feel you're playing at your? I don't think you feel you're playing at your top yet. I think you have lots, right? But when was the decision to no longer play small? And I think your website is probably part of that, right?
Yeah, like that's a great question. Like I really wouldn't consider it playing safe or playing it small. It's just the next step in the journey. I think one of the boldest moves I've ever done in my life was starting my company 23 years ago. That was the biggest move I think I've ever made, to go from being raised in an environment where you get a job and you have a pension and you have like stability, to become an entrepreneur at 27 with that was crazy. That was bold. Throughout my life, I've done really bold things. We opened an office in Las Vegas many years ago, and I was there during a time where the economy crashed. And we didn't make any money, but I got a lifetime of experiences. And you just look throughout my journey, I go, like, that was a bold moment. That was a bold moment. It's inherent into who I am. I think the difference is now I have momentum. So I've always had the boldness, but my momentum is bigger. So when I do things now, I can activate bigger than I was able to before.
And I hear that. I know what you mean. You can feed off your successes. You can feed off your experiences, I should say, even if it's not necessarily successful. Like you talked about Las Vegas, you learn from those things. You gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom, if you will, and you carry it forward, and you have that confidence. And I'm just thinking the majority of people that are right now, because you're talking to these people, you're talking to the leaders of companies, you're steering them in a direction where they need to make decisions about their brand, about them themselves. What kind of things are you saying to them? Are they bleeding together? Are you saying, "Hey, I've been there. I know what you're talking about," or do you look at it so individually? Because of course, a company brand versus a person's brand is a little different, right? So how are you bridging that? How are you bridging that conversation with these leaders?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's one question, like, who do you want to be when you grow up? That's it. Like, as a company, like, who do you want to be when you grow up? As a person, who do you want to be? Like, and then let's plot that journey and let's get you there. So the whole idea is that success starts in your vision of what success is. If you come in with a little idea of what success is, we can make that happen. If you come in with a big idea, we can make that happen. The reality is you are your limiting factor. And so I always sit back and say, where do we need to go? You tell me and I'll do that. Are we going to build you a bicycle? Are we going to build you a Bentley? Or are we going to build you a rocket ship? Every one of those will take you from point A to B. You just tell me where point B is, and then I'll tell you what it's going to take to get there.
Right. Yeah. And again, I can see the separation between the businesses and then the actual individual person when you're speaking to them that way, and trying to, again, what is the influence you're building here? What's your presence? What's the public presence? And I'm just wondering with that word, because I've talked to people about this sense of presence, being alive and in real time. That's why I love doing live. Like we're recording this, but this is
real.
This is real. This is what we're doing. And this idea of just being present with another person, you're going to do it tonight. You're going to be in front of a whole bunch of people, and they're going to be in your presence, and you're going to be with them, and you juggle that. And I'm just wondering, with that idea, what does that mean to you? What is the concept of being present with somebody? You're in the boardroom with a company. You have to stay very present with them and let them feel that they're being seen, heard, and that they matter. What would you say about that concept of presence for you?
Yeah, you know what? Like, the thing is showing up and giving your full attention is the most respectful thing you can do. I cannot handle when people are trying to talk with you and they're on their phone or they're being distracted. That drives me crazy. That's disrespectful. Like, you show up in the moment. But for me to be present, for example, with my schedule, it takes a lot of planning, like a lot of planning. And I remember Like, I truly am a person of my word and I give it my all. And I remember I was feeling under the weather. I had to fly to Saskatchewan. I was the keynote speaker at lunch, but then I had to catch a flight and nothing could go wrong because I had to be back in Calgary to be at an event for 5 p.m. And I just was like, everybody was expecting me to be on. They all expected the on Ryan. And I was like, can I pull this off coming off of a crazy week? Like, is there enough grit in me to pull this off, or before my social battery goes to zero? And, you know, I did it, but it did take 2 days to recuperate. I will be honest that I had to pull in every ounce. And, you know, I think the thing is showing up is just not good enough for me. That's just, you would never find me that way. If I'm going to show up, you're going to get Ryan full throttle version. But that's just authentically also who I am. The fact is that I just care about a lot of things. And when I care about it, I give it my all. So yeah. And I think that's why even like running WJ for 23 years, every day I feel like the doctor that I never became, because I still feel like I walk into the room and there's this patient and it's a company or a person, go, how do we triage their brand? Or, oh my God, this one's hemorrhaging. What do I do? And so there's that same sensibility of like compassion and care that I take on with the customers or like the clients as if I would have been a doctor. And every case is different. So honestly, in 23 years, I'm like, I've never seen this. Like, I've seen similar. And I'm like, hey, this is how we have to go with this. And the only difference now is I now run a hospital with all these experts that I can bring into the client care. And I can walk in and go, initial fee that, you know, I'm the triage doctor now. I'm not the long-term care hospital person.
Oh, that's a great way of looking at that. You know, again, being present with somebody and is real time. Like you said, in some cases it is triage. You're trying to help somebody. I totally get it. And we were talking about the brands themselves and your brand. So I'll go back to that. I mean, you're separating it with your website now a little bit and your business. What are some of the things that you share or that you have thought about for you to present that? Because you talked about the momentum of that. And what's the advice are you giving other leaders when it comes to this idea of, are you your brand or are you the WJ brand? Or, and I'm referring to that could be anybody else's logo there as well. So how are you doing that? And then how are you sharing that with other people?
That's a great question. Like, I think when I started WJ, I was the brand. And I think still to this day, people would associate me as the brand. But the company's doing amazing things. It has amazing talent. It has amazing leaders in the company. It can go out in the world and function just fine. It can go meet people. It doesn't, some clients, I don't even really get to meet until they're well into the journey into the agency. So the company has its brand. I think the thing is, I just have personal projects. I have passions. I have boards I sit on. I have my roundups that I do. Who knows what's going to come out tomorrow. But I think that there's this whole spot where I wanted to have just a home base for me to say, hey, if you want to meet Ryan as the person, here's the things that matter to him. I don't want to be defined by my company. I think that I am my company and I love my company, but I'm much more than just WJ. I'm philanthropy, I'm networking, I'm events, I'm an influencer in some capacities. I'm a spokesperson, I'm a media person, I'm all of these things. So I just decided, you know what? It's time to just harness my personal brand and create that as an entity of its own.
That makes a ton of sense. That makes a ton of sense. I'm going to try to bring up, because I know you've got some great people over there. And I'm going to try to bring them up right this very second as we speak. And just so that people understand who you are and who you're referring to, because you're absolutely right. I mean, when you represent a brand, you know, here's your website. I'm just jumping on the about side. And if you scroll down, buddy, this is what, and there they are. There's some of the people that you have on your team. And to your point, you are but you are one of them. However, very much like a Richard Branson thing. When people think of Branson, they think of Virgin, and when they think of Virgin, they think of Branson, and it's intertwined with each other. And as you said, you're defined inside that. But obviously, as we can see, there's a lot of great people here that you're working with.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, I can say that my secret to success is surround yourself with people way smarter than you in the areas of expertise that you need and let them soar. And I truly believe that every time I have a client meeting, I'm like, I am not the expert in this. This person is. Empower them, empower their ability to solve the problems. I think what I'm good at is being a collector of amazing people. And so I think I can create a culture that attracts the right talent to come to the table. And that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, there it is right there, everybody. So you can check out the website and again, learn more specifically about what we're talking about here. While we're here, I might as well go right here because this is intriguing. Again, this is the intriguing part of bold, memorable, and unstoppable. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I have lots of cool phrases for myself as well at times, but I have yet to embrace some of the words that sometimes people use to explain. So obviously you're feeling comfortable with being able to go to this level. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm really trying to find this essence so that other people that are in the same situation, when they know they have something of value and they want to bring it to the world. So let's talk about influence and the concept. What do you think that means when you say that? Like, what is real influence when it comes to this kind of stuff we're talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, I think, in my case, I was really raised to be proud of who I am and to be really confident in my abilities and the role that I play in this world. So, I think there's this line that people think confidence is arrogance, and I would hate to cross that line. Like, again, I just really believe so strongly in my team and my company. I'm so confident about them. And even with what I've accomplished, like it's great to see the impact that I've made. So, I think where influence comes in is that you're really aligning yourself with like ideas, thoughts, causes that matter, but you can authentically support. I think to be like an influencer, it's all about like pure intentions. And again, I don't know. I think I didn't really overthink this. This is just kind of me, who I am. It was neat to have my team actually, though, work on this because I think when we came up with these 3 words, for example, I went, are you bold? Yeah, I'm pretty bold. Are you memorable? Yeah, I think people remember me, but I'm super resilient. I honestly think as a business owner going through recessions and hard times and pandemics and this, that, and the other, like I just keep dusting myself off, and standing up and going again. And that resilience is what you need in tough times to kind of shake it off and keep going. And honestly, that goes back to my parents. My parents were farmers, and there was times where it wasn't so great. And I remember saying to mom and dad, like, why do you guys keep farming? And they're like, well, this is our passion. This is what we love doing. And, I think really early on, I realized they didn't give up just because it was a bad year and a bad crop. They didn't give up. They just dusted themselves off and off they went, and they were unstoppable. So, here we are.
I love it. I love it. I'm just seeing, hey, there's a few people here tuning in. I just want to let you know we're not alone here. You know that, right? I just want to let you know there's people here that are kind of tuning in. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and checking out. Jacqueline Way, appreciate that. You always tune in. I appreciate that, Jacqueline Way. I know you're on the road actually, which is even awesome. And here we go. Let's see I would love to connect with Ryan. There you go. Well, you know where he is. He's right there. There he is. And
right here.
Right there, and I put up the websites as I did right there. So please reach out to Ryan. That's the whole point here. And love smart people. Yeah, it's always important to, like you said, just surround yourself with people that that have the same vision. But you're again at the leadership level. You got to paint that vision. You got to give them something to kind of want to follow as well. They really have to want to be there, and obviously you're providing that. So I think again, that's just an amazing for me. That's just an amazing skill to have, and then to own it is what I'm getting at. To own the fact that you can do that. Let's move here real quick about the brand, about branding in general. So let's give some people. We're on LinkedIn, and there's a lot of people that are obviously either selling something, you're representing something. Maybe you're not a solopreneur or an entrepreneur. Maybe you work for a bigger company, but whatever that is, there's a brand usually involved. So let's ask about this because I'm talking about visibility. What makes a brand emotionally memorable versus just simply being visible? What do you think of that?
That's a great question. I think a brand, we always say it is truly your story, and it has to be authentic to who you are in your culture. It has to be compelling to your audiences. It has to be different than the rest. So you have to have this narrative that really emulates the essence of who you are, and then connects with the audience. And I think what happens is, to connect with an audience, you have to connect both rationally and emotionally. And sometimes what we see is too many people lean too hard into the rational reasons what they do and why they exist, versus like the problems they solve and their place in this world. And I think great brands bridge both of those. Great brands will tell that story as to the problems they solve. They'll demonstrate how they do it and how they make an impact in the greater world. And, you know, that there's just so many, the way that a brand exists in 2026 is so much more different than it did at 2020. And then you go back. So doing this for 23 years, the essence of marketing and branding hasn't changed. It's tell your story, connect with customers. That's the essence, but how you do it is different. And, you know, I think that in 2026, I did a global TV segment on this exact topic. And we talked about it is the blending of, in today's world, humanity and technology. Because I think humanity is what people connect with, but technology is what can help fuel that fire and get that message out there. And you cannot deviate too hard on either side. You know, leveraging technology today is just a smart decision. AI can act as a great co-pilot. But the humanity and the authentic storytelling and the creation of a brand and your values and your culture, that still is first and foremost.
Yeah, you hit it on the head about we have it's easy to overthink and make things very complex. I know for me, I've been talking about this for a little while, and I think you might relate to this. Like you said, AI is a partner. It's someone you can use. It's something you can use. It's a tool. I don't think it's ever going to, change this. I mean, let's face it. Tonight is an example. I mean, if you have a Ryan's Roundup, the point is you're not asking people to log into an app, or you want them to come and shake your hand and be present and gather and do what we're doing right now. So I think, if anything, AI is driving home the idea that the humanity of it, like you said, the storytelling, the ability to connect and see yourself in that brand and go, yeah, that resonates with me. I really understand that. Let's talk to that person, the business owners right now. So it's not even a pitch on the idea of branding and marketing, but it's more about, what would you say to someone who knows right now that they have something of value to offer the world, but they're hesitating to step fully into that visibility? They're hesitating, or maybe they have an existing brand and you're saying, you know what? You can take it to the next level, and here's how we can do that. Let's talk to that person. What would you say to that person who's hesitating right now?
Yeah, you know what I think the thing is that, like, without branding and marketing, you have a vehicle without gas. That, like, it's pretty straightforward. And, I don't even think it's optional anymore. I don't think it ever was, but I just sit here and I think that we live in a world that's cluttered with noise. We are there's so many distractions that are hitting us, and there's so many different universes. Like, there's the physical universe. We can go to a networking event. There's the digital universe. We can talk on like LinkedIn. Like, there's just so many different platforms and ways to connect with humans. Well, if you don't have a strong brand to cut through the clutter, you will just be lost. Generic is going to get you nowhere, right? And, I think back to this point of like how you succeed in 2026 is you have a distinct brand, you have a compelling story, and you know how to activate it. And, I think the one thing that we're really good at WJ and me personally is how to play in different environments. We didn't go complete, like, my LinkedIn is great. I love all my LinkedIn followers, and we have great conversations in my little LinkedIn family, all of them. But, that's one platform. But then there's the real life platform. There's the Roundup here's the funny thing. It's when the environments start blending. So people come to the event and they shake hands, but we are very smart. We do videos of the event. We take photos of the event, and people peek into this. It's almost like a movie set. And I've had people come to me and say, from around the globe, have come to the Roundup and said, we've watched this online and now we're on the set. Oh. And I just thought that was really neat. And, we're very timely with that. Like, we have these photos up within hours. The video is produced always before the next morning. So people can peek into that life, and they peek into the LinkedIn life, and then they come to the office life. Like, I showcase different parts of my world through different platforms, like speaking engagements like this. This is another outlet. Like, you get to come in to hang out with me in my living room. So, I think we're just very strategic that way. And so that's what you would talk about when you have a brand that shows up in different environments.
Got it. I like that. I like the idea that you're talking about basically the integration of the technology where you can film it, you can put it up on a live stream, you can take those pictures, you can get it up immediately in the sense of so that people can kind of sneak inside and see what they either were part of or missed or anything like that. I'm going to make sure that let me just see if I can get up what you were talking about here. And here's an example of it, everybody, just so you know. So Ryan's Roundup has a page. It's actually literally ryansroundup.com. So you can go there. And you're absolutely right. When you peek down through here, you get a little bit of what it's all about, and there's some video clips in it. But you can do this. You can kind of click in, and you can see what's going on. And I think that's fascinating. I know I was there for the March one, so you could click over onto March, and then my photos. Well, that's just my slow internet. Sorry about that. Oh, there it is. There they are. There they are. But there's the example, right? And it's just a great way to showcase the people that are out in the presence of you and each other. And of course, that's what the whole point of it is to get people together and to network with one another. And again, I've always went to those thinking the same thing, thinking like, this is kind of an interesting way to approach. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Boom.
There you go.
Oh, see, I had
that. We're legit.
I'm legit now. I'm legit. Never make it to the video though. But that's okay. I don't want to be in the
tonight.
No, no, that's all good. It's all good. But back to your point is that just different ways to kind of embrace people, bring them into the brand that you're helping them design, and of course with your own branding. And I just admire, and I'm saying this out loud because this was the thinking behind the show today. I could have sat here and talked about, your particular, the agency, could have talked about your career and all that kind of stuff. But this idea of embracing what people kind of tell you your advantage is, that private little thing that essence of who you are. And I know that people tell you that because of course that's the energy you're giving off and stuff. But also I think it's really fascinating that you also have to paint that picture sometimes with brand leaders and other people that have brands, and you want to take them to the next level. So I think that's fascinating, my friend. I really, really do. Listen, it's a busy day for you, so I'm moving along with you really quick because I know you got first you got to shovel the snow.
Exactly.
And there we go. But there's no way we're going to sit around here. I got to get to know Ryan a little bit more. That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, well, we didn't really, I know you, but I just know of you, but I don't know you. So that's why I always come up. We got to do a little this or that. How are we not going to do? We got to do a little this or that with Ron. This or that.
Love it.
Oh yeah, it's really simple stuff. I mean, it's this or that, right? But we'll get to know you a little bit better, and I just want to understand. So next time I'm with you, I'm like, okay, I think I know where he's thinking about this stuff. Really simple stuff here. I'll just two things. You just tell me what it is. Simple as that. Black tie gala or a rooftop cocktail party?
Cocktail party.
Yeah. Well, probably more than mixing and mingling and all that kind of stuff, right? How about this? How about hosting an event or being the keynote speaker for that event for you?
Keynote speaker.
Why is that? You want something to share? You got information? What is that?
You know what? I know the logistics of planning an event, and I would much rather go up for a little bit of time, own my little space, impart some wisdom, and then be done with it. So
you are so right. It's so true. It's just like these things. People, when you do these live things, they're like, yeah, I kind of want to do that. Like,
rather be the guest than the host.
Yeah, you want to be the guest, everybody. Don't be the host. Absolutely. How about this? I know you like really cool stuff. You always wear really nice clothes and brand. So a luxury watch or a designer shoe? Not both. I know you want both.
Designer shoe.
The designer shoe. Yeah, right? Yeah, I must say there's something about when you see someone in a cool pair of shoes or something, boots or something. I get that. How about we were just talking about, right?
Peter, I was going to tell you, if you actually saw my closet, you would probably see 110 pairs of shoes.
No way. Are you a shoe guy? So you're a shoe guy. Okay, I get it. Super cool. Super cool. I know. Every time I see you, kind of got some kind of boots on or something. I'm like,
yeah.
Where do you get those? Yeah, you don't get them around here. I know you get them on your travels. Is what you do. I know that. That's for sure. You just talked about things that you like to do on the weekends and stuff. How about either a Netflix binge or a movie night, theater night?
Neither. I absolutely hate TV.
Yeah. Hey, come on. So
No,
are you telling me you don't watch movies?
no. You might catch me watching 3 movies a year.
I see. I did not know that. That's why this or that plays. I did not know that. So you're
Yeah.
telling me you've never seen Yellowstone as an example?
No.
Wow, that's fantastic. Hey, I
Being
like
a marketing guy and not watching TV, I do not know. It's probably my attention span. Let's be honest. You'll probably get a 20-minute program out of me at the max. But if I watched, oh goodness, no, nothing.
Wow, that is. Hey, listen, I'm not judging. How about this? The book or the? Well, I think I just answered it.
The book or the movie?
The book or the movie? I'm like, oh, he's gonna read the book.
There you go.
I get it. Now you've been traveling. I know that you love your time in Paris. I saw the pictures. Europe or the Caribbean?
Europe.
Europe, yeah. Do you like the Caribbean though? Do you like going down south to the beach and stuff?
You know what? Like, we actually have a place out in Greece. So it seems like every summer it's like you stop in Europe, and then we go out to the island of Syros. And so that's kind of like the direction that we go, and it just kind of makes that plan a little bit more feasible, I guess.
Yeah, well, you beautiful ocean and you know, coastline and all that stuff in the Greek islands. So obviously, not missing too much out of the Caribbean. Are you an early morning or night? So an early morning flight or a red eye?
That's a great question. I'm both, but not afternoon guy. So I get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I have to have an afternoon nap, and then I will go to midnight.
Got it. Oh, so I know what you're doing after this. I got it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. How are you? Are you a pizza guy or a sushi guy?
Pizza. Oh, geez, that's a tough one. Either or. Could go either way.
Okay, either one. So for dessert, are we going first? Are you eating dessert first, or you save it for last?
Well, that's the discipline. Now we have to be logical here, Peter. Dessert goes last.
Okay, fair enough. I know, because I saw you with that chocolate that you brought back from France, and I'm thinking, well, he
Louis Vuitton.
Probably had that for breakfast. I'm thinking he could have had that for breakfast. Easy. How about this one? This one's actually a serious one, because I love asking this question just to get an insight of people. Hope or freedom?
Hope. Yeah, I would say that. And it's funny, a similar word is, like, I will have days that I don't think the world's going the way I want, and I'm really concerned. And my mom's always like, she's very religious, and she's like, you always have to believe that everything's happening for the right reason, and you have to believe that things are going to get better. And to that point, I actually got her handwriting the word believe on my thumb. So when shit hits the fan and things aren't going down, I can literally just look at my mom saying, okay, Ryan, you just got to believe that everything's happening for a reason, and you'll be okay.
Wow, love that. I love that. That's the hope, the essence of just knowing that the universe is working for you and not against you. I love that. All right, finish this sentence for me, my fine friend. I love my life because
of the amazing people in it.
Can it get any better than that? No.
Yeah, honestly, you know what? That's the whole thing. Hang out with great people, you'll do great things. Hang out, and that's what I do. I have a very tiny, close-knit social circle, like literally 5 people. And that's it. That's my social circle. And I know thousands of people on the next level, but my close-knit people are just the most amazing people that are uplifting and changing the world. And, I feel so blessed to have them in my life as a soft spot to land and just kind of be like, oh my God, like, this is what's going on, and together we can take on the world. But I'm just so fortunate, like with my work family, that's like, I'm like, guys, this is tough. And they're like, Ryan, we got it. Or you go out to the social community, like, the roundup, and I'm like, who had a bad month? And they're like, me. I'm like, oh my God, so did I. But together we're all going to figure this out. Like, so I feel really blessed that I attract really amazing people. And that is something where I think when you surround yourself with amazing people in different parts of your life, life's kind of a great place to it's a great way to live your life.
I agree with you 1000% on that. It's just, the quality of your life is based on the people that are closest to you. And you need that. You need those people that really know you, really know you and really got you. So I know what you mean. You can normally count. I always tell people, listen, you can count your best friends on your thumbs, sometimes on your nose. I mean,
exactly.
They're a very, very small group of people. So I relate to that completely. Listen, my fine friend, it's been a joy. It's been a pleasure to chat with you. I so appreciate you taking the time, because like you said, it takes time to get you settled.
Ready.
So much going on. So I want to put up a couple things here for everyone to make sure you check out. There's Ryan's personal website. You can also then connect with him via LinkedIn. All right. So I'll put that up there and you can kind of go there. And of course, you can go check out his actual real gig, his full-time day gig right there, 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵.com. So you can check that out as well. So I appreciate that. So thanks everyone for being here. I super appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan. Stick around. The show will go off, but I just stick around for 2 seconds. I'll come back to you. Okay, my friend?
Sounds good.
I really do appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you later on tonight. That's for sure.
You got it.
Everybody else, thanks for tuning in. If you made comments, I saw lots of comments going on. I'll be making sure I'll go and check every comment and reach out. For those who said they want to reach out to Ryan, you know how to reach him. There he is, right there. He's open right there, open for the call right there. Okay, everybody, listen. You know how this ends. Just be kind out there. Just be kind out there, everybody. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is be kind. All right, Ryan, we'll see you on the other side. Everybody else, thank you so much. We so appreciate it. And have a good day. We'll talk to you soon again. Take care, everybody. You know the drill. Yeah, just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind. Just be kind out there. I mean, that's all you have to do. Just be kind out there, everybody. Hey, just be kind. It's just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind. That's all you have to do. Just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind out there. I mean, that's all you have to do. Just be kind out there. I mean, just be kind out there. Just be kind out there. I mean, just be kind out there.